welcome back to my channel Life in Print with Leonie, or welcome if you're new. So this is my April TBR and it's pretty big, so I will try and get through it as quickly as I can, and I mean that in both senses of this video and also trying to read all of these books in 1 month as well. So in March I read 17 books and you can see my March wrap up on another video on my channel. So I'm aiming to try and do more, if not as many as in March. So what I've resolved to do at the moment is try and read some of the books that I've read before as well as new books, because there's so many great books that I enjoyed years ago when I was younger that I'd really like to revisit, and I don't get the chance because I'm always trying to read newer books as well. I'm also trying to read some of the classics, so I'm trying to fit at least one classic into each month as well, and to keep my genres really varied. So that's enough of me gabbling on, so I'll get straight into my April TBR. The first two books on my April TBR are Witch Child and Sorceress by Celia Rees, and they're based on a character called Alison Elman, who is searching for information about Mary Newbury, a witch from Puritan times who Alison found her journals hidden in an old quilt. They're really great. I read them when I was younger and they are my two nostalgic reads for this month. Caraval by Stephanie Garber is a massively reviewed book. It's been really highly anticipated, so I'm looking forward to getting into that. And it's based around two young girls who are invited to the mysterious Caraval, which is part circus, part carnival, and it's by invitation only. But then one of the characters, Teller, is kidnapped by the mastermind behind the whole show, and as far as I understand, it's all about what happens to her after that. Half the Mark by Veronica Roth. So you will have heard of Veronica Roth from her major series Divergent. This is a brand new series by her, and it's about a completely different galaxy where everyone has a special gift, and the main character in that is Syrah, who has the quality or gift of being able to exploit pain and power, and her brother really exploits that in the sense that he uses her to torture his enemies. So I'm really looking forward to this. I enjoyed the Divergent series and I'm looking forward to seeing more from Veronica Roth. The Bear and the Nightingale by Catherine Arden. Now this is a book that I received courtesy of Del Rey as an advanced reader copy. It's really beautiful. If you can see here, the cover is gorgeous, and it's based around the idea of Russian fairy tales that are quite dark and mysterious, and I really love dark fairy tales, so I'm looking forward to reading this one. The main character in this is Vasya, a girl with secret powers, a second sight, and the way that she deals with the bad things that come, whether these be demons or even Christian religion as well. Strange the Dreamer by Leonie Taylor. This is another one that's been really highly reviewed and anticipated. It's by the author of the Smoke and Bone series, and I absolutely love that series, so I'm hoping to get the same sort of thing from Strange the Dreamer. This is revolved around the concept of dreams choosing people rather than the other way around. It is quite a large book, but I feel that if it's as gripping as Leonie's previous novels, I'll be able to get through it pretty quickly. A Secret Garden by Katie Ford. Now Kate is one of my favourite romance authors, as you've probably heard me bang on about it lots of times before. So this is her newest novel, and as always it's centred around women who have a particular career. In this one being gardening, which is kind of given away by the title. So Lorna and Philly are both interested in gardens. Philly being around 25 years old, she is a plants woman, i.e. she sells plants and grows them herself, whereas Lorna is slightly older and she works at a stately home in the gardens, and they have a friendship. They're both sort of looking for love, as always in Katie Ford books, and it's all about how they find a secret garden and also find love as well. These two are books that I've actually been loaned from a friend at work. They are memoirs based on the true story life of Jennifer Locke, and they are Blackbird and the sequel Still Water. They're not really my first choice of reading material, but my friend Sasha assures me that they're brilliant. They're her favourite of these types of books, which is the genre she likes to read, so I agreed to give them a try and see what I thought. So they are my recommended reads for this month. I'm intent on finishing this series this month, if nothing else. So I started the Keys to the Kingdom series last month and read the first three: Mr. Monday, Grim Tuesday and Drown Wednesday. So this month in April I'm planning on finishing Sir Thursday, Lady Friday, Superior Saturday and Lord Sunday, and finding out what happens to the child Arthur Penhaligon, who was drawn into becoming the rightful heir to the house at the centre of the universe completely against his will, and what's going to happen to the poor guy next. I've got a couple of arcs through NetGalley this month, so they are made up of Descent by Katie O'Sullivan, which is about a mermaid's child. I haven't really read any books about mermaids, even though I loved The Little Mermaid as a child and I like the concept of mermaids. I've read a few books with mermaids as like minor characters, secondary characters, so I'm quite interested to see how this is going to progress. It is a YA novel and I believe it's going to be part of a series, so we'll see how that goes as to whether I will then read the next ones. Rather Weird by Andrew Caldecott is a fantasy novel based around history as well, so the idea that there's a town in England that has been struck off from the rest of the country and has its own sort of politicians, its own rules and regulations. People don't really go there from the outside, they don't really leave, and there's something else like a subplot of fantasy to that as well, so I'm quite interested to see how that's going to pan out. The Lucky Ones by Mark Edwards is a crime thriller novel that I've got as an arc. I've read a couple of others by Mark Edwards, so I'm interested to see if this will be as gripping. The last one I literally read in about 2 hours because I just couldn't put it down, so I'm hoping this one's going to be the same. The House by Simon Lellick, around the idea that a couple move into a gorgeous house, they find something gruesome in the attic, although it doesn't say what, and they decide not to report it, but now they're being framed for a murder that they didn't commit, and it's all based around what they found in the attic, so I'm intrigued to see as well where that one's going to go. I do like my mystery thrillers, so that's two that I've definitely got on there this month, but I'm also going to finish reading Locked In by Kerry Wilkinson. This is another recommended read. My grandmother loves this series and she really recommended it to me quite a while ago, because I think there's about 20 in the series. I started reading the first one and I didn't really like the writing style, but she assures me that it does get much better, so I'm going to go back to it, finish the first book and then try in the future to read the rest of them as well. Big Little Lies by Leanne Moriarty. This has been on my to be read list for a while because I do really like this author, and also her sister Nicola is a really great writer as well. But we've recently been watching the mini-series of Big Little Lies, so of course I want to now read the book more than ever, so I'm going to try and get that read this month once the series is finished. And finally, Far From the Madding Crowd by Thomas Hardy, another one that's been on my to read list for a while. I really enjoyed the film, so I want to read the book, and that's going to be my classic novel of the month as well. So that's it, that is my April TBR, so I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have read or enjoyed or even disliked any of the books that are on my TBR, please comment, let me know. Give the video a like if you enjoyed it, and also subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. I do post every Sunday and Wednesday, and sometimes a bit more often if I've got any reviews to do in between. And if you are another booktuber, please leave a comment, and I would love to check out your channel as well, so that we can chat about our favourite books if we've got any similarities and give each other recommendations. The Hard Way by Lee Child. I do like Lee Child, I love the Jack Reacher novels, and I've not yet finished them all. I'm reading them completely out of order, but it doesn't matter. Now this one was £4 from the Morrison's supermarket, so I picked it up. It's been on my shelf for a couple of months, so I'm going to try and get this finished before we take it on holiday for my boyfriend to read.